Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As Brother Hassan was saying, the effort into Masjid Al-Rasul has been 30 years in the making. And inshallah, this is an extension, and inshallah it will be able to achieve even more, Allah willing. I'd like to now invite a phenomenal Sheikh who has blessed us on these 10 nights of Muharram with his majalis. I would like to invite Maulana Sheikh Ahmed Haneef to speak to the community. Salawat.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Bari al-Khalaika ajma'in wa salat wa salam ala rasulihi wa habibihi wa safirihi Abil Qasim Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Ala ahli bayti at-tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin wa la'natullah ala a'daihim ajma'in min al-an ila yawmiddin. Allah says in the Holy Quran, Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sorry for my... Allah says in the Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhawna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. You are the best nation brought forth for mankind. You bid what is right and forbid what is wrong and have faith in Allah. This nation that we call the nation identified with Islam, I don't want to say nation of Islam, I don't want to make the wrong connections here, but this nation of Muslims is a nation that is expanding. Unlike other nations which are focused upon a certain people or a certain geographical area or a certain common historical experience or whatever, this nation is a nation that is nothing but the extension of the presence and the essence of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. This is a nation that aims to bring justice and rectification to mankind. It is one where we are all in it, brothers and sisters, regardless of the outward differences that we have. Where this feeling of brotherliness and sisterliness, where this family feeling is something that goes beyond blood, but goes to the very soul itself. The people who tend to be attracted to this nation, this ummah, are people who feel the need for justice in their heart, are people who still feel the presence of Allah in their environment and in their souls. It is not for those who are the people of injustice, and it is not for those who do not feel the feeling of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their hearts. It is very interesting and very logical even that you would have a masjid like this today being established in a neighborhood where we are dealing with here the forgotten, the marginalized, because this is exactly where Islam spreads. And this has been so from the time of Prophet Noah up to this time. That the people who follow the prophets were never the rich, were never the powerful. The people who follow the prophets were always the people who were the deprived, were always the people who are at the bottom of the barrel. And it is in following these prophets that the religion lifted them up and made them powerhouses and made them people who could influence the rest of society. When you look at the Arab society at the time of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who were they? They were people whom the Persian Empire or the Roman Empire used to run over. In fact, there were people who were so inconsequential that a lot of times history just passed them by. It is only when Islam came and lifted these people up that they became the powerhouse and the renaissance, the source of the renaissance for the rest of the world. It is not a mistake that a masjid like this will be established in a place like this, in a black neighborhood. As we see in the history of the spread of Islam in North America and in South America, we find that among the African Americans, whether it be a North American African or a South American African, that they have a special gravitation towards Islam. And this is something that goes back to primordial history itself. It goes back to the history of Islam itself. Because you find people among the companions of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, that represent certain trends in mankind. Some of them negative and some of them positive. Among the followers of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam were two people, two individuals who were known as foreigners. Two people who were known as foreigners. There were other foreigners among them. But there were two people who were the archetypal followers among the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of them was Salman al-Farsi, Salman the Persian. That was one of them. Everybody knew that he wasn't an Arab. He was a non-Arab who was a follower of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The other one was Bilal Habashi, Bilal the Abyssinian. Even their names convey the fact that they were foreigners. And these people were discriminated against among the Arabs. They were, because they were foreigners. But once that Islam expanded, once Islam came and brought Salman in and Bilal in, they became notables in Islam. Because the only thing that distinguishes each of us from each other is taqwa. What makes a person better than another person is not wealth, is not race, is not muscles, is not any of those things. It's taqwa. It is humility, it is piety, it is fear of Allah. The word taqwa comes from the word to mean fear or caution. When you're cautious about something, when you want to take measures to protect yourself, okay, the word taqwa is used. Taqa, to protect yourself. And taqwa is the state of a Muslim where they want to protect themselves from the wrath of Allah, protect themselves from the fire. And it is only at our level of taqwa that we are superior or inferior. But the thing is this, you can't measure taqwa. You can't look at somebody and say outwardly they are muttaqi, they are pious or not. Because there are some people who affect piety. There are some people who show piety, but in fact it is not piety. So it's only Allah can distinguish between us who is a pious person and who is a not pious person. Islam came and brought in Salman al-Farsi and Bilal al-Habashi. Okay, what relationship do they have with us right now? Salman al-Farsi was noted to be a member of the Ahlul Bayt, alayhi salam. Okay? Yes, salawat to Holy Prophet Muhammad and his family. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Salman al-Farsi was noted to be a member of the Ahlul Bayt, a member of the family of the Prophet. He was not a biological member of the family of the Prophet, but he was, in a certain sense, adopted as a member of the Ahlul Bayt. This status of Salman is a foretelling, is a prediction of the role of the Persian people with respect to their relationship to the Ahlul Bayt. In the sense that the Persian people more than any other people, even more than the Arabs themselves, have a particular love for the Ahlul Bayt, to the extent that wherever in the Muslim world you go, and there is some kind of a tomb, some kind of a shrine to a member of the Ahlul Bayt, you could bet your dollar that, don't bet really, you can be sure that that structure that is built over that shrine, that dome, that care, that love that they put into that shrine, comes from a Persian merchant or the Persian people. And so the whole of Iran right now almost are people who are followers of the Ahlul Bayt. This is prefigured in Salman al-Farsi's connection with the Holy Prophet's family. Give salawat to the Holy Prophet Muhammad and his family. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bilal Habashi, he is known to be what? The Mu'adhin, the one who calls to prayer, the one who calls to the submission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Bilal Habashi is a prefiguring of the rapidity of the African, wherever he might be, in Africa, in the United States of America, in South America, in the Caribbean, wherever he might be, he's the one who is the first one to follow and to submit and to agree and say, Labaik wa Allah, I'm coming to you and I'm answering your call. To the extent that we realize that among the African American and the African in general is a certain tendency he has, a certain kind of a capability he has, a certain power he has to draw people to anything he likes, to anything he loves. And unfortunately, this is something that the devil himself has realized and has been using Africans, especially African Americans, to draw people to kufr, to draw people to sin, to draw people to foolishness. And that's why they are afraid of Islam. Because when the African American embraces Islam, he's going to bring everybody into Islam, because he reflects the passion and the call of Bilal al-Habashi. Give salawat to the Holy Prophet Muhammad and his family. So it is highly strategic. It is very strategic for us to start establishing masajid and Islamic centers in places like this. And now, what do Bilal and Salman have to do today? What is our goal today? Both Bilal and Salman, and by Salman I mean everybody from Asia, from India, from Pakistan, and also, yes, from Europe, which is a part of Asia. Because Europe is the only continent I know that is separated from another continent by a river. Check that out. A river. You use the bus for us straight and you say there's one continent here and one continent here. My friend, you are an Asian. We just want to be light-colored Asians. We just want to be different from everybody else. Euro-Asia. Okay? So Salman al-Farsi represents all of y'all. Because the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said what? He said, I was sent to the red and the black. The two races, the two peoples. We know where the black is already. Where's the red? He's up there, Eurasia, man. From China all the way to England. How do Salman al-Farsi and Bilal come together in a place like this? But when you look around, you find there's a lot of people who need help here. There's a lot of people who here, for example, their children would need help in school. The people here would need investment. The people here would need to, for example, get into partnerships with our Asian brothers in establishing stores, in establishing institutions, in establishing businesses and so forth, where we could empower our brothers. And isn't that what we did? Isn't that what the Muslims did when they moved to Medina? Okay, the people from Mecca, they didn't have much. They were muhajirun, they were refugees. Okay, what they did was they stretched their hands out to each other, and the Medinas helped the Meccans, and the Meccans helped the Medinas. So this is an opportunity for a collective investment in establishing an Islamic base in this society.